So basically how it works is that if you've contributed a minimum of $650, you would get a portion of the pool. It would be split amongst all of the people that have done that. So there's two answers, and the easy answer is everybody that stakes above 650 gets a part of the pool. Now, what about me? What if I put in $500,000 and someone else puts in $650? It's not fair. Okay, so two things. One, the person who's put in 500,000 is going to get a massive percentage of all the fees that are being generated out of that pool. So they get compensated in another way, plus they'll also get that. We don't want to discourage that in any way, shape or form. But the idea is also what you don't want is you don't want a whole lot of people coming in and putting in $100,000 worth of liquidity into a pool so they can get a percentage of a payout, and then the day after the payout's done, they pull the liquidity from the pool and there's no liquidity left. So a lot of smaller liquidity providers in the space are not looked after. They're not recognized for their effort. Now, when I say smaller liquidity provider, I don't mean smaller as in smaller person or smaller value. I'm talking about, you know, for a lot of people in our community, putting in $350 worth of ETH and $350, for example, roughly of RFOX as well, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. And they're saying, you know, I'm helping you out. It's a project I really like. So we're saying there'll be a couple of boo-hoos, but everybody that's helping out deserves to be rewarded in some way. I mean, so obviously you can't please everybody in every situation, so you just have to do the best for the majority of the people. And as I say, one thing in every business, in every industry in the world, is that the people that are considered to be the smaller people or the smaller contributors always sort of get shafted, or the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Well, in this case, it doesn't really change, because the people that put in the most get the most fees coming back from the pool. But it's also been a good learning curve for me as well. And one of the things that I took away from the countless interviews I watched is one of the people turned around and said this: look, put a percentage of your liquidity and your holdings into liquidity pools. And then it was a live session, and the person said, but why? What about all this impermanent loss stuff and all the rest of it? And they said, take this company, for example, which I won't mention. They've had millions and millions of dollars put into their pool. As a result of there being huge liquidity, people felt confident in being able to buy and sell the token separately, not liquidity providers. They knew that there was going to be liquidity there. As a result of that, by putting in a percentage, say 10 or 15% of their stack, what that actually did was it meant that the increased liquidity meant consumer confidence. People were happy to buy knowing that they could get out, or vice versa. And as a result of that, the token price went up considerably. And so the rest of their stack did very, very well. So liquidity providers rely on the fact that a lot of them try and get out at the same price that they got in, regardless of how long that takes. You've got to stay in for some period of time to make it worthwhile, and you're getting fees as a result of that. So if you can time it right and work the pool the right way, you'll make a heap of fees. Will you end up as well off as if you were just straight holding? This is where that wonderful debate comes in play. If everybody just straight holds, no one's buying or selling. If everybody's putting in a bit of their money to the liquidity pool and people start buying and selling, that causes the interest in the token, and it means that there is a greater potential for you to do better for the rest of your stack that's sitting outside of the pool.